So I love reading series, but when I checked my series tracker, I saw that I was in the middle of 16 series. I didn't realise how many series I had started but not finished, and here is where today's video idea popped into my mind. All over YouTube, I have seen booktubers attempt to finish series they have started but not finished, and I thought that would be the perfect thing for me to do to tackle some of my series. As a result, here I present to you today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. So guys, as you guys saw from the intros, today's video we will be doing series I've started but not finished. So I've picked 3 books. One's a small town romance, one's a fantasy, and then one's a dark romance / mystery. So these are all from 3 different series. They're the last book in the series. I thought I would start off by doing that, and then maybe in another video I would just do like a series that I've started but hadn't finished yet, and I still had maybe like 2 or 3 books left to finish. Today's video will only be focusing on the last book in a series. So I picked 3 books, as I've said. Really excited to get into them. 3 books that I've been wanting to get into that are part of my May TBR, and I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm going to stop talking now and we're going to get to it. Before we start, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe, usual YouTube stuff, and follow my socials down below. But let me stop talking now and let's get to it, and let's start reading book number 1. So guys, I thought I'd come and give you guys a bit of an update. I know I haven't spoken so much yet during this vlog, but I've just been reading and I haven't wanted to put this book down. So first up, obviously, we started Hopeless by Elsie Silver, which is the last book in the Chestnut Spring series. And this book focuses on Boo, who is one of the brothers. He has been mentioned throughout the books. We see little bits of him, little bits and pieces. Also ex-military, and he has like trauma from that. And then he meets Bailey, who he strikes a deal with, where they pretend to be engaged. So yeah, they become like friends. I would say it's like friends to lovers. They start off kind of like as strangers, but from the day dot, Boo is very protective over Bailey. And yeah, like I just really love their friendship so far. I feel like that's the perfect basis for a relationship. It's going so well right now. I am blushing. The chemistry between the 2 characters is scorching, but like not in just like a hot, sexy, spicy way. Like nothing's happened, but in a cute way. Bo is very protective over Bailey, and I love to see more of Bo. Like he's definitely a character that I wanted to see more of, especially in the first book. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get more into his book. There are bits and pieces that are already making me feel quite emotional. Like I'm quite protective over Bo, especially with what happened in the last book, which isn't his book, but he was mentioned in that book. And yeah, this book really focuses on the artifacts of that, him meeting Bailey, and this relationship and fake dating they've decided to conjure up. But so far so good. I'm really enjoying this book, but I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update. I'm going to carry on reading a little bit before I go to bed, and tomorrow I'll give you guys another little update, hopefully before I finish the book, and then I'll give a final review once it's done. And then we're going to start a new book on my little list for this video. I'm going to carry on reading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I have just finished reading Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I'm sorry I haven't given you guys much of an update in regards to this book, but I haven't wanted to put it down. It's just, I don't even really know what to say. I finished the book about 5 minutes ago and I wanted to give you guys kind of my thoughts and feelings in regards to this book. So as I've said, it features Boo and Bailey, and Boo is an ex-military and this is an age gap trope, very slow burn, and I could feel the tension throughout. What I love about this couple is they started off as strangers, then friends to lovers, which for me is like one of my favourite tropes. And even though they were really comfortable with each other and they were like having like giggles with each other and stuff like that, there were moments where they were both really shy still, which I really like enjoyed and found quite refreshing. So it shows like they're not always comfortable with each other, and like when you have that attraction, there's even times where you feel a little bit shy, but not in a way that you feel uncomfortable, but like you're just shy because you're excited about seeing this person and you just kind of don't know how to act around them. And I definitely felt that with Boo and Bailey, even though I felt like these two were like the best of friends, and just the little things like she was putting moisturizer on his feet because he has burns when he was in the army on his feet, and little things like that, and the little words, the phrases, like I've tabbed and highlighted the crap out of this book. But in terms of like my tabbing system for this book, I just did one based on cameos, so like when all the other characters come in, and in this book we get to see all the other characters. We get to see Summer, we get to see Winter, we get to see Willow, we get to see Rhett, we get to see Cade, we get to see Harvey, obviously Sloane and Jasper. So seeing all these characters together after reading their stories was just amazing. This book perfectly wrapped up this series. It did not disappoint. I feel like I've heard so many mixed reviews about this book, but this book did not disappoint. I feel thoroughly satisfied with how this series has ended, the ending, and even more so that I've read Wild Love, which is Thor's book who we meet in this series, and obviously I had already read his book like before I read this one, so I kind of knew more of an understanding of him. But even seeing him in snippets in this book before he has his own book was really refreshing. I really loved it, and yeah, I just love the series so much. It made me giggle. I was blushing like non-stop. Boo and Bailey, they own my heart. Bailey as well. Out of the two of them, Bailey I would say is my baby. Like I'm obsessed with her and everything she goes through and stuff like that. I just made me love her even, like I just love her so much. I just love this series with my whole entire heart. I'm so sad it's over. In terms of the other tabs, I have one for Boo and Bailey, so anything that I loved through them or in the interactions, I also tabbed that. A lot of it I went and highlighted it with my highlighter, so I have a lot of highlighted sections. And then my last section was Boo's trauma, because he was in the military and they were going to deal with like mental health and stuff like that. That's one of the tropes for the book. I thought I would like have a little tabbing section that helped me reflect on that and go on to that. So yeah, I just really loved reading this book. I'm so sad the series is over, as I've said, but I don't think this is going to be the last time we hear from any of these characters, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. In terms of my rating, I've decided to give it a 4.75. It was so close to a 5 stars. I just didn't get that 5-star feeling. Like I did at bits and pieces of time, but still for me, Heartless and Powerless hold like the top tier in my heart. This one I decided to give a 4.75 because I gave Reckless, I believe, and something else, no, just Reckless. I gave Reckless a 4.5, and I feel like this book, I enjoyed it a little bit more than that book, but I don't think it was the 5 stars as Heartless and Powerless reached for me. Powerless kinda is on the similar level, but in terms of Heartless, Willa and Cade will just forever be my favourite couple. With this book, there's also an age gap, but for me, I personally didn't feel it. They literally felt like two adults that were the same age. Like there wasn't any differences, I feel like, in terms of their behaviour. A lot of age gap books, the girl's a little bit more spontaneous, she's a little bit more like immature than the male, whereas in this book I didn't feel that at all. I feel like Bailey is very mature for her age, which made it easy to go through the age gap like trope. I'm really happy I read it, I'm really excited, but as I've said, I'm so sad that I finished this series and I just feel empty now. Like, I feel empty that I'm not part of this world. I just feel empty. I think that's the one thing about finishing series, is once you're finished, you just feel so empty, because you're like closing a chapter. You're closing the last page on a book that has opened yourself up to this amazing world. So that was it for the first book and my thoughts and feelings. So next up, I decided to read A Curse for True Love. It is the third book in the True Love series. I don't even know if that's the name of it, or the Never After series by Stephanie Gardner. So this book is the third book in the series after Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. And in a recent vlog, I read The Ballad of Never After, so go check that out if you haven't, to see my full review. But I'm really excited to get onto this book, and I'm really excited we're going to be reading it next. I decided to pick it because the second book is still fresh on my mind. It's a series that I wanted to get into, and obviously as I finished a romance, I know this is a fantasy romance, I need something a little bit more fantasy. Like with this, it's like magical in my eyes. Like, it's magical, it's got a little bit of mystery, so I'm really excited to delve into this book. I have the beautiful hardcover, and it's making me want to get the hardcovers for the other books, but I can't find them anywhere. If anyone knows a good place to find them, let me know. I really love the Fairy Loot edition, but they don't exist anymore. I'm just waiting for them to reprint it. And yeah, I just love how pretty the series is. I feel like the cover is so pretty. So I'm gonna sit back, relax, and start reading, because I'm really excited to delve back into the world with Evangeline and Jax, which I'm really excited for, because I miss those two so much, even though it's only been about a month since I last read about them. So the second book we'll be reading is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Gardner. I'm back, and it is actually a few days later when you guys are seeing me next. So I have been reading A Curse for True Love, and I need to give you guys a bit of an update. So I obviously started the book, I did a bit of reading, and I've only really caught up with this book today. I've read about 150 pages today, so a lot, because the past few days I just haven't wanted to read this book. I feel like because I really enjoyed the last book, I had really high expectations for this book, and the way it started out, I just wasn't satisfied. And one reason is because my man Jack wasn't in it until like at least 60, 70, 80 pages in, and I was missing my babe. So the first 40, 50, 60 pages I was bored, I'm not gonna lie, but I pushed through, and today I rekindled my love for this book. As soon as Jax came into the picture, I was happy again. Even the little scent of him, the little description, I was like, that's Jax. Like, I knew who the author was talking about. Don't think it's going to be my favourite, just because I really love The Ballad of Never After. I feel like that's definitely my favourite of the series, because there was just so much going on in it, and the plot was really thick and stuff like that. This book, if you guys know what the third book's about, I don't want to do any spoilers. At first I started reading the physical book, but I just couldn't. I was just taking too long to read it, couldn't get into it. I tried the audiobook, that definitely helped me get into it, and the audiobooks is something I definitely want to delve more into, but I just couldn't do it. And I looked on Kindle Unlimited, the book was selling for like £10. I was like, I'm not buying that. So I pushed through trying to read it, and I just couldn't read it. Like, I was struggling to the point that I was trying to find free PDFs of the book just to read it on my phone, or couldn't really find anything that made it easy to read. So I just ended up having to buy the Kindle version, because reading on a Kindle actually does help me read when I'm stuck on a book, and I think that's definitely what's helped me get through this book, is by reading on my Kindle. And I am on chapter 28, we're on Apollo section, page 222, so you know, angels numbers. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm obsessed with the cover as well, but I am really enjoying it. I'm hoping to hopefully get it finished tomorrow. I won't have any time today because I'm going to see Nicki Minaj. hopefully tomorrow we can finish it off. I don't really have many plans tomorrow. And I've also started Hunting Adeline. I think I'm about 100 pages into that book. I started it when I couldn't really get into this book, and then I decided to download the Kindle version of this because Hunting Adeline is actually on Kindle. But that book, I will talk about that when we get to it in that portion of the video, but just wanted to give you guys a little update. I'm sorry I haven't really given you much update on this book, but hopefully tomorrow when we're reading it, especially the last 100 pages, I will definitely do a lot more of a commentary so you guys can see my thoughts and feelings. But so far I'm enjoying it, and that is it for today, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Guys, I wanted to give you guys a little update on the book. So the last time I spoke to you guys was yesterday, I believe, before I was getting ready to go and see Nikki, and since then, again today, I've caused more of a dent. I'm currently on chapter 40, page 330, so we don't have that long. I think this book is like 380 pages, so I've got about 50 pages left, and I will say it has improved since I last spoke to you guys. The second half of the book, I will definitely say, is more enjoyable than the first half, and right now I'm slowly leaning towards a 3.5 to 4 stars. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it a 3.5, a 3.75 or a 4 stars. Personally, the second book, The Ballad of Never After, is my favourite one, and then the first book is on the same level kind of as this one, I would say, maybe a little bit better, but yeah, I am enjoying it a lot more than I was when I last updated you guys. It is like an easy read. I'm getting through the pages, like it's so fast paced once you get into reading it. Definitely also reading on my Kindle has helped, and that is why I love my Kindle, because I can always rely on it to do reading when I need to. And then obviously once we're done with that, I'm gonna start Hunting Adeline. Right now it's about 10 o'clock, but I'm not tired because I've literally had naps several times today. So my plan is to finish off A Curse for True Love, give you guys my review, and then start off with Hunting Adeline. So I had originally started it. I think I'm currently on page like 150, so I'm about 30% through, because I think it's like 500 pages long. Picking up more. I'm very anxious for Adeline. If you read the first book and how it ended, and if you've read the series as a whole, it is definitely dark romance, especially the second book. First book not as much, but second book, but I'm still enjoying it as much as I liked the first one. So yeah, that is actually my little update for now. There's not really much to say. I'm enjoying this book definitely more than I was before, and I wanted to give you guys an update, and tomorrow we'll review it, and then we will continue with Hunting Adeline officially. So yeah, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. So guys, I thought I'd come and give you guys an update. Right now, I actually have no idea what time it is. I think it's about 8:30 and I'm on chapter 21. So I read a few chapters this morning. So we're on page 218, around 43% through the book now. And I'm actually really enjoying it, despite the beginning where I didn't have it on camera because I literally forgot to record. But I was literally crying because the stuff, there's a lot of TWs, which I showed you guys at the beginning, which it says in the book. Like the mystery, I don't know how to explain it. There's like this journal with like letters from this girl called Molly, and it's just really interesting to see how it all ties together, all these different characters, especially from the first book to now, seeing Zaid and his journey on him trying to investigate and how he's trying to find someone. There's just so much. Even Adeline, seeing her perseverance is such a amazing thing, because she could have easily been broken by everything that has happened, but she's still persevering. So I wanted to give you guys a little update about that. And now I'm going to quickly give you guys a little review actually of A Curse of True Love. Before I continue reading the rest of this, I'm going to give you guys a review. So let me quickly go pick up the book. So obviously I put the dust jacket back on, but yesterday I finished A Curse for True Love. I finally finished the series, and though, as I said with the Chestnut Spring series, I'm so sad that the series is over. The ending I'm really happy with. First half wasn't like bad. It wasn't like, oh, I'll never read it again, but it's a book that I definitely, depending on what mood I'm in, then I would like recommend it or not. And yeah, I just love the characters, Jax, Evangeline, the story, the mystery. Like, what I love about this series is from book to book, the plot is so cohesive, it's so easy to understand. I love like the lettering, like the little letters that you get in the book, the little notes, that type of stuff, which is so like creative. I feel like it helps to build the story, it helps to imagine the world. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this series. I'm so sad that it's over. It's just so magical. It felt like a dream. It felt like I was watching like a fairy tale movie. Like the imagery, the descriptions, like the little dragons that like breathing in little smoke. They not breathing in, breathing out little smoke puffs whilst they're sleeping, like those little stuff. Because Jax wasn't there, then I found it boring. But when a author writes characters so good, you know they're writing good, because of the fact that if the characters are not in like a certain section, you miss them immediately. And with Jax, he was a character that I missed immediately. The chemistry between Jax and Evangeline, chef's kiss. I decided to give A Curse for True Love 4 stars. I was between the 3.5 to 4 stars. I actually felt like the 3.5, 3.75, 4 stars. Decided to end it on a 4 stars because I feel like I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the first book. But still a really good read. Happy to read it. And yeah, another book that we finished, another series that I've completed. On to Hunting Adeline. Today's plans is strictly just reading, so I'm really happy about that. And let's finish off Hunting Adeline. Guys, little update. This book is getting tense. It's getting tense. Like, we're only 290 pages in, but we're getting tense now. Like, if you guys know what this book is about, it's like anything can happen. It can go 2 ways. Whatever's happening right now, it can go 2 ways, a good way or a bad way, and I'm hoping it's the good way. And I just wanted to give that little update because if you guys see me getting excited, like I'm excited because something good might be happening after all the bad that's happened in this book so far. But also, we're not even halfway through, so if this good thing happens now, I would be like, what's gonna happen for the rest of the book? So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of update, but so far so good. Chaos, he's chaotic, he is dangerous, but he is also like very protective. And that's why I love him, because he's a lot more than just that dark side of him. He does have a good side as well. But I'm going to carry on reading, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I just wanted to talk about one of these characters that we've just been introduced to. I think she was mentioned in the other book, I can't remember, but we actually properly meet her, and her name's called Sibby, and she is absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you guys can tell by my reaction, but she was cracking me up. Like, she broke out of a psych ward basically, and she's mental, but that's based off her trauma, and as one of her side effects, she thinks like she has like 4 men that she basically has like sex with and stuff like that, who she's in a relationship with, and like her conversations with the men are so funny. So there's a bit where she's supposed to be like going undercover, and one, she orders stuff that's way too big for her, so she's all in pink and that, and she reminds it a bit like Harley Quinn kind of vibe, and she was like, oh, I need 2 more of the little camera things for my men, only 2 of them are coming with me. So he gave it to her, and then she threw it like she was giving it to one of the men, but because they're not real, it just dropped on the floor, and I was just dying. Like the little comments and like the stuff that they've like caught her trying to have sex with the hunchman, but they're not there, there's no one there. And yeah, like those little moments, I think that really just brings about the story, like the plot as well. Like I just really like the plot. So I'm gonna carry on reading, get to the end of this book, and then we'll come back and do our final review. But so far I'm really enjoying this book, and I'm so sad the series is ending, but I will be definitely reading Where's Molly, which is like a spin-off book, so I'm really excited. So let's continue reading. So guys, I have finally finished Hunting Adeline, and this book, I'm so freaking sad that this series is over. It has been a roller coaster of emotions, to say the least. Zaid and Adeline, these two characters, they own my heart. And yeah, like in terms of dark romance, this has definitely been the best dark romance I have read in terms of plot, the characters, the development. Yes, it is an extreme dark romance, like it's a proper dark romance, I would say, because there's dark romance, but it's like, I feel like it's very vanilla. And I don't mean dark romance just in terms of the smut, but the plot line, how they meet and what these people do as jobs. It is like crime, organised, it is all that different stuff that people don't usually like. Things that happen in real life basically, but it's in a book. Plus it has obviously a romantic couple. But yeah, like Zaid, at the end of the day, he did help Adeline, and I actually do believe like they were right for each other. Like she balanced him out and he helped her as well, especially after all that happens in the second book. But that is really all that's got to be said. In terms of rating, I'm not sure of the rating yet, because the first book I gave a 5 stars, and I feel like this book had a lot more than the first book. But I'm not sure if it's a 5 stars. The way it ended, I'm really happy with the ending. Like, I was attached, like every little detail I was grasping upon. This is definitely a like high up there in terms of the books that I've read in this video that I've really enjoyed. But I don't know if it's more than Hopeless. Hopeless I gave a 4.5, but I think it's around the same level as that. I enjoyed them the same. I think it could go up, it could go down, but I think for now I'm sticking for a 4.5. I did have the 5-star feeling throughout the book, but I don't know, something in me doesn't think it's a 5 stars. I just don't think it was a 5 star. I think it was just maybe a little bit too dark for me. The series that I have finished, and obviously just to recap, we obviously read Hopeless, which was first, which was Boo and Bailey's story. Absolutely adored the series, and I'm so sad I finished the Chestnut Spring series, but I rock on all the other books. And then obviously we read A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Gardner. I'm really happy I read this one. I gave this one a 4 stars. But yeah, that is 3 books completed from 3 different series. But obviously we have 3 different like genres, different tropes, different plot lines. I think for these types of videos I like picking out books that are quite different, just because I feel like it's like a palette cleanser. Whereas if they're all like the similar trope or then trope, I can get bored and my ratings might not be as good. But yeah, I really enjoyed all of these books. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me and watching this video. If you do make it to the end of this video, please comment. I don't know, what can we comment? Let's just comment a red heart, because I think all we need now, especially in the world, is positive vibes, and a red heart is what everyone needs. Really happy at the moment. Bring on summer. I'm really excited for the vlogs, for the content, for the book content, to be able to go outside and read. That is what I'm most excited for. That is it for now. I hope you guys are okay, and as I always say, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Estoy enamorada porque cuando veo cosas muy bonitas pienso en ti como un cabecito.